Manasseh. May God make you to be like Ephraim and Manasseh. Smech Elohim Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. May God make you to be like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yisem lecha shalom. May Adonai bless you and watch over you. May Adonai shine upon you and be gracious to you. May Adonai look upon you and grant you peace.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. V'yasem lecha shalom.
Let's gather our candles to light our candles. And bring the light of Shabbat into our homes, into our center there. I look forward to Theo seeing if that skeleton can light the candles. All right, got a couple sets of candles going. One at the center. Rose is lighting candles at the center.
Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Judd, we have you muted.
Page 3. Igali, gali, gali, na ufos, ufos, habibi alai, et sukat, et sukat, shremecha. Igali, gali, gali, na page 5. Shivul Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shivul Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shivul Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Basu Meyom Leyom Yeshuato, Sapu Vagoyim Kevoto B'chol Ha'amim Niflotav Ki Gadol Adonai Umehulal Me'od Nahu Al Kol Elohim Yadai Dai Ki Kol Elohei Ha'amim Elilim Adonai Shamayim Asa Od V'Hadar Lefanav Oz V'Tiferet B'Mikdasho Havul Adonai Mishpachot Amim Havul Adonai Kevod Va'oz Havul Adonai Kevod Shamo Seu Mincha Uvon Chatzrotav Yadai Dai Ishtachavu L'Adonai B'Hadrat Kodesh Ilu Mipanav Kol Haaretz Imru V'Goyim Adonai Malach Avtikon Tevel B'Timot Yadin Amim B'Mesharim Yismachu Hashamayim V'Tageh Haaretz Yiram Hayam U'Melo Ya'alo Sadai V'chol Asher Bo Yadai Dai Az Yirananu Kol Atzei Lifnei Adonai Kiva Lishpot Haaretz Yishpot Tevel B'Tzedek V'Amim Be'emunato Yadai Dai 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 Chadodi's on page 11. Shabbat Nekabela Shamo V'Zachor B'Dibur Echad Ishmi'anu El HaMiuchad Adonai Echad U'Shemo Echad Hashem L'Tiferet V'Litilah Yadai L'Chadodi Yadai L'Chakala Yadai B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Likrat Shabbat בשלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצוהלה, תוכי בני עמסי גאולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, יאי די די, יאי די 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 לחתוני, כלה די 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 לתקלה, יאי די 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 פני שבת, פני שבת נקבה, יאי די 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 לחדותי, יאי די 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 לתקלה, יאי די 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 פני שבת, פני שבת נקבה. Let's stay standing for the Baruch Hu, which is on page 16. Oops.
Carl sends his regards. He's not able to be here today. And as we transition in our service towards the Amidah, and we have a couple of prayers to prepare us for that. Is there anyone who's feeling inspired to read Ma'ariv Aravim in Hebrew on page 16? Or in English? Or I will use it as another practice of my Hebrew. I can call it my Hebrew homework for the week. Judge shaking his head, telling me to practice my Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim bechokma poteach she'arim uvitvuna meshane itim umahalif et hazmanim umasadech et hakochavim v'mishmerotechem berakia kirtzono Borei yom v'layla golel or mifnei choshech v'choshech mifnei or uma'avir yom umevi layla umavdil ben yom uven layla Adonai tzvaot shemo.
El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Hamariv Aravim.
With a eternal love, you have loved the house of Israel, your people. Torah and mitzvot, laws and statutes you taught us. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we arise, we will discuss your laws and rejoice in the words of your Torah and in your mitzvot forever and ever, because they are our life and the length of our days, and on them we will meditate day and night. Never take away your love from us. Blessed are you, Adonai, lover of your people, Israel.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. You will love the Lord thy God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your might. And these words which I command you on this day will be upon your heart, will be upon your heart. You will teach them diligently unto your children. You will speak of them when you're sitting in your house, when you're walking by the way, and when you're lying down, when you're rising up, and when you're rising up, rising up. You will love, you will love, you will love, yeah, 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 you will love. And you will bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they will be for frontlets between your eyes, and you will write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates. You will remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God. You will love, you will love, you will love, hey, 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 you will love. On page 20, למען תזכרו ועשיתם כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Page 21. מי כמוך בימים אדוני, מי כמוך kodesh. No adilot usepele. No adilot usepele. Yai dai 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 dai. Yada dai dai dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yada dai dai dai. Yai lai la 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 la. Yada dai dai. Yai lai la 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 la. Yada dai dai. מלכותך ראו בניך בו קיים לפני משה זה לי אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד יאי די 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 ידי די 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 יאי די 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 ידי די 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 יאי לי לה 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 ידי די 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 יאי לי לה 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 ידי די 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 ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב הוא יעלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאי ישראל Rose, would you like to read the Shelter Me with Peace or on 22 or whatever you like?
How about 21, release us, and all of it together. That's a good one. This is on page 21. Ellen Dannon. Adonai, God of the outstretched hand, who brought our ancestors out of confinement in Egypt, release all those bodily confined for the pursuit of justice. Release us from the prisons and the calluses we have constructed around our hearts. Release our hands from the shackles we have placed on them and guide them to their work. Release our minds from the deceptions in which they are imprisoned. Release exhaustion from our eyelids and bodies. Release our spirits from terror and fear. Renew us that we may be renewed. Set us on our journey to the land we are to enter.
Thanks, Rose.
You're welcome.
Let's rise for the Amidah on page 25. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagiti hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praises. Adonai, sifatai tiftach ufi yagiti hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praises. Shalom Rab HaYisrael Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rab HaYisrael Tasim Le'olam. Page 30. Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom rav Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Shalom rav Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol et u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom rav HaYisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Shalom rav HaYisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. Ana ena, ana ena, ana ena, mefana la. Ana ena, ana ena, ana ena, mefana la.
So I'll take a moment of quiet reflection. If you're willing to close your eyes or lower your gaze, to take a deep breath, to settle into the space in which you are, and take a moment to envision those loved ones in our lives who are in need of some form of healing, emotional, physical, spiritual healing. And hold those loved ones in your mind, picture them. In your heart, hold them. Connect them to that love and that energy of healing that you are bringing into this world at this moment in time. Share this blessing. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who we hold in our hearts and in our minds. May the Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and for their strength to be revived. And may God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and of spirit. And let us say amen. Let's take a moment, whether you're at the center, whether you're online, and if there's a loved one in your life who you're thinking of who is in need of healing, Feel free to unmute and share the name of that loved one with our community before we say a prayer of healing together. Mike.
Lori Kahn and Lizanne Hanson.
And Jenny Dundon.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Barb. Mary.
Bev Levin and Frank Lundy
Thanks, Mary.
and Maggie Radford.
Thank you, Mary. Janet and Bill.
Our brother-in-law, Kim Corley.
Thanks, Janet. My father-in-law, Chuck Ritz. Laura Chaya, Bat Miriam, Betsy Dove.
Nishabeach Avotenu Mikol Habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Nishabeach imotenu mikol habracha avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
I was studying with Rabbi Feivel, my dear friend and mentor, who's over outside of Jerusalem on Wednesday. And he, before we started studying, we were talking about family and our plans for the week and for Shabbat. And he was telling me that he was taking his family down to Eilat. And I don't know Israel geography very much, but he told me a little bit about it and how it's a little tricky to get there and it's a little off the beaten path. And I asked why he was heading there. And he was bringing his family down to Eilat to connect with a family that used to live close by to celebrate Shabbat Olami. And I looked at him and said, Feivel, what in the world is Shabbat Olami? First time I've ever heard it. And he went on to explain to me that there's one Shabbat a year that has been created by an organization. There's this organization working on this Shabbos project, Shabbat Olami, the Shabbat all around the world, to try to bring Shabbat once a year to people all around the world, and a worldwide Shabbos. And so he and his friend will be down in Eilat, and they're going to be celebrating Shabbos in the streets of Eilat. And it's meant to be not just Shabbat, but a celebratory Shabbat and a joyous Shabbat with Shabbat dinners and song and dance. And I was quite intrigued when he shared this. And so I wanted to talk just a little bit about Shabbat tonight instead of the weekly Parsha. And there were a couple of things that were quite intriguing as I talked more to Reb Feivel about this. This idea of this effort to have the entire Jewish people keep one Shabbat. And there's some aspects of groups within our faith, within our traditions, that believe when the entire Jewish people do keep one Shabbat, it will bring about redemption. So perhaps there is a piece of Shabbat Olami that's focused on this idea with those who believe this idea. And perhaps with Shabbat Olami, the Shabbat project, there's a message of the power and the beauty of the deep wisdom and Jewish traditions that come along with Shabbat, the power of resting, the power of stopping. Thomas Cahill, Rev. Fievel was telling me, wrote this book, The Gifts of the Jews. And one of those pieces that Thomas Cahill focuses on is that our people brought Shabbat to the world. And while it's something that's so important to our traditions, anyone can plug into Shabbat. Anyone can plug into Shabbat. Now, after studying with Reb Fievel, I went on to have one of my classes on Thursday, and we dove into this class on some of the direct work from Torah where we get Shabbat. And I was quite moved by one piece, and I want to read it to you now and take a moment to see if it resonates or if it stands out. So I'm going to read it to you in Hebrew and see. Give me 1 second. See if it jumps out to anyone. All right. Vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzva'am v'yachol Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa v'yishbot bayom hashvi'i michol melachto asher asa v'yivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i v'kadesh oto kivo shavat mikol melachto asher barach Elohim la'asot. We're reading these words in class, and does this jump out to anyone? Does the sound or the words resonate to say, yeah, I know that. Or I see you shaking your head a little bit. Yeah, this was one of those things that just came and it popped for me. This is something that we say every Shabbat if we do the extended version of the Kiddush. If we do the extended version of the Kiddush, we read this every Shabbat. And what was powerful for me is that as we were going through our davening today, and we were in the Amidah, we've talked about this before. The Amidah is such a beautifully structured prayer. There's a couple prayers that no matter if it's weekday, morning, or night, that we say before, at the beginning and the end, and it's the middle part that comes in and out. The middle part, one of the pieces that we only say on Shabbat, same words. In our Amidah, when we have our central prayer in our liturgy during Shabbat. The same words. So on Shabbat, we might repeat these twice. On this day, if we're engaged in our prayers, we might repeat this multiple times. There's something powerful. And so what does it mean? What are these words that we're saying? What are these words that we're reading mean? The Israelite people shall keep the Sabbath, observing the Sabbath throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It shall be a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day the Lord ceased from work and was refreshed. I want to read that one more time, and I want to create space for a little discussion, and then I'll close with an idea that I thought was resonant that came out from our class. But I want to read it one more time, and I want to see what is resonant for you in this prayer that we will say twice tonight if we do the extended Kiddush. We say it in the Amidah, we say it in the Kiddush, and it comes directly from Genesis. We read this just a couple of weeks ago, Genesis 2. The Israelite people shall keep the Sabbath, observing the Sabbath throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It shall be a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day Adonai ceased from work and was refreshed. I want to take a moment and allow folks to unmute. If you want to read it directly, you can read it in our prayer books on the top of page 28. What stands out to you from this text, from this prayer, from this piece of Torah as we read it? Mike.
The sense of generation to generation and the time that they're talking about, that this should be, that this isn't something that happened yesterday, it happened millennia ago and is still ongoing. Very powerful.
Beautiful. The Dor Vador, that sense that this is not just a new idea. This is an idea that has stood the test of time and has been passed on from generation to generation.
For
Beautiful.
hundreds of generations.
For hundreds of generations. Thanks, Mike. Others, either in response to what Mike shared or other things that were resonant or stood out to you about this text, about this idea, about any of the words that were within. Janet.
I think this idea of being refreshed after working for 6 days. And I think all of us, we kind of live our lives and we go on a track or on some sort of tangent, but every once in a while we need to reset our lives and our values and our morals and our relationship with God. We need to stop and really kind of reset our lives.
Shabbat vayinafash, that idea of Shabbat being a point of refreshing our lives, Janet, as you talked about. That's something we need. We need to stop and refresh our lives. And interesting, Janet, I learned vayinafash, the root, right? The root of vayinafash, that idea of being refreshed. The root is nefesh, our soul. Our souls need to be refreshed, and Shabbat is a pathway to do so. Beautiful, Janet. Other things that stood out or resonated with you in this piece? Friends, I just realized I read the wrong English to you. I read Hebrew, that was from the Amidah. And the English that I read, was the other piece in our liturgy, Veshamru. Veshamru. The English that I read was rooted in the very beginning of Genesis. But that piece of being refreshed, that comes directly from Exodus. Shabbat vayinafash. We may be refreshed from Shabbat. What else is resonant for you in what you might have heard in the English that was read? Both are prayers in our liturgy, both come directly from Torah. What I'd like to share is there's to wrap up, there's one piece that I've always been intrigued by in terms of the words that we use when we think about Shabbat. And there's two words that are the commandments associated with Shabbat within Torah and in our liturgy. One is related to remembering Shabbat, and the other is related to keeping Shabbat. Remembering and keeping. And as we say our prayers, we'll see the words associated with keeping the seventh day, keeping it holy. And one of the things that I find intriguing is that we have part of our traditions an obligation to keep Shabbat. But one of the things that I've always found quite beautiful is while we keep Shabbat, more so, Shabbat has kept the Jews. And this is a piece that has been taught from some of our rabbis over time. While we are meant to keep Shabbat, Shabbat has kept us. It has kept our people. And as we think about the obligation, the commandment, the yoke, the mitzvah that is to come together and keep Shabbat, Janet, as you shared some of that beauty of the power of Shabbat for refreshing our souls, I think it also plays a role not only in us keeping Shabbat, but Shabbat keeping us. Shabbat Shalom, y'all.
Thank you, Josh. Let's rise for the Eleno on page 41. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשינו כגיא הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגואלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. והשם אותה אל לבביך כי אדוני הוא אלוהים. This is page 42. Hashem אותה אל לבביך כי אדוני הוא אלוהים ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Let's take a moment and turn to page 44 in our Sidurim, and we'll remember those loved ones who are no longer with us. Shortly, we'll recite the mourner's Kaddish. I'd like to take a moment and share the name of Henry Troxler, the father of Shannon Troxler Thal, who passed away this week. May his memory be for a blessing. I'd like to pause and give space for those who are in a period of mourning. If you're commemorating the yahrzeit, the anniversary of a loved one's passing, or if you are thinking of a loved one who is no longer with us, please share the name of that loved one with us, and we'll recite the mourner's Kaddish.
Oh,
Mike.
My dear friend Paula Landau, who died of COVID.
yep.
Janet.
Bill's mother, Betty Jean Carver, who died 30 years ago on the 18th of October, and a colleague and friend, Kathy Raper, who died this past weekend on the same day, the 18th of COVID.
Jordan Rose.
Ron Novak.
from our community. Todd Bergstein, Ellen Doss, Arthur and Neil Frecht, David Goldfarb, Alan Hirschfield, Susan Herman, David Holmes, Jeffrey Joel, Stephen Capello, Phil Kalani, Emmy Knobloch, David Kornblum, Hillary Leberfeld, Jan Levinson, Herb Lipp, Sally Mortensen, Ronald Novak, Larry Nussdorf, Larry Reeser, Ron Sapol, Eli Sedlin, Scott Stachel, Elliot Sussman, David Turkier, Elaine Wolfenson, and Jim Wolfenson. Let's all rise for the Mourner Scholarship on page 44. Feel free to unmute. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'ama divra chirute ve'amlich machute, B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'bizman kariv ve'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam umei amaya. Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitba'ar ve'yitramam ve'yitnaseh. Vit hadar, vit hale, vit halal, shemei de kudisha brechu. Le'ela mim kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, tamiram be'ama v'imru amen. Yehi shlam araba mim shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Aseh shalom bimramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen.
Say shalom mama, huya say shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael, ve'imu amen. Oh, say shalom mama, huya say shalom aleinu. Ve'akol Yisrael, ve'imu amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. 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 Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol
Mary, any announcements?
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Sorry, I got healed up. Not much to report other than next week, we're gonna do it again. And tomorrow morning Torah study, of course. Josh, you'll be there. Carl's traveling. And then next Friday, we'll probably do a Zoom and in-person Shabbat again. And we're thinking about November's Shabbat, so stay tuned.
We're hoping to double our attendance next week.
Yeah, please, let's get 2 people here
Let's
next
have a big push.
So anyway, it's fun down here. You guys should come down here.
We're distanced.
Yeah, we're distance. Okay.
Look, it seems all the way over there. It's fun to have Rose here.
Yeah, Rose is like having 5 people here.
Yeah, it's way fun to have her.
Okay. Shabbat shalom.
Hey, for one quick one for Torah study tomorrow. We are starting our Torah study is not only studying Torah, and so read the Parsha in advance, but we're also starting reading Pirkei Avot, Ethics of Our Fathers. So if that is of interest to you, join along.
What chapter? What is it? We're reading for tomorrow.
Which chapters are you reading tomorrow of Pirkei Avot?
We are starting Pirkei Avot from the very beginning, and you don't have to read it in advance. All you have to do is show up because it's just a paragraph that we'll look at a time. So
How about, let's do Vishamru on page 23 for our final hymn, so we can check this out now. We can remember and keep. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. בינו ובין פני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. ושמעו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדותם ברית עולם. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Grab some wine or your purple sippy cup, and we will say a Kiddush.
It's a little Manny or fresh out of a new case.
Manny. Yes. Well, you just got a case, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe we need some Jewish community merch that would include purple sippy cups for Shabbat.
Oh, that's great. This needs
Oh, yeah.
grape juice.
Oh, I don't know. Let's give it
You could do that, give it to every kid at school.
Yeah, we need.
One other thing.
Oh,
Wait, I'll let you know.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodesho v'ahava uvratzon hintilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit. כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר יציאת מצרים. כי באנו ובחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
L'chaim.
לחיים.
should we find some challahs out there in the world? We have a
tiny challah
we have a tiny challah tonight at the
that's
Claimant household.
splitted, but we do have a whole lump of challah.
Also known as sandwich bread.
Yeah.
Mini challah from the Claimant household. That's what we got. And Neely has asked to be the solo Claimant kid blessing the challah tonight.
Come on.
Any other challahs out there in the world?
Do we only have one?
Theo, reach out and
Do we
see if you
only
can
have
touch it on
one?
the screen.
Do we only have one?
Looks
Is
like,
this the only?
I bet Mary has one. Let's
I
see.
got extra hollow for everything.
Okay, why don't
I'm
you,
gonna hold
there, look, Mary's got one.
Okay.
Okay, why don't you bless it?
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices wide and song together. As our grateful prayers say, Baruch atah Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Okay, I'm just gonna give you.
Good Shabbos, everyone. May it be a refreshing Shabbat. A soul refreshing Shabbat.
Good job, Josh, Judd.
Oh, sweet.
Shabbat shalom, Mike. Shabbat shalom, Barb.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, Janet. Shabbat shalom, Bill.
Lovely to see you all.
Good to see you, Nora. Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Lou, Margaret. Good to see you.
Hi, Rose.
Hi, everybody. I wondered why you didn't call and ask me if I wanted a ride, Mike.
Yeah.
It's just wild down here. It's like a party.
Well, what?
How was Ireland, Grossman's?
Yeah. It's all about Ireland.
It was perfect.
Was it
It was
rainy?
really, really fun, and everything went without a hitch. And we got to meet my crazy relatives in Belfast and see my grandpa's, the Irvine homestead, and threw my mom and dad's ashes into the North Sea and ate a lot of potatoes.
Well,
Any other comments?
At least you didn't throw me into the North Sea.
I should hope not.
I heard.
It was very green, and the Irish people are super nice.
Oh my God, it's just crazy. So we're gonna go back, hopefully. Isaac didn't get to come, so that was kind of sad.
I'm going.
Oh, I know that.
Your relatives.
Oh, my relatives are a hoot. They're just
Like your mother?
kind of, they're kind of, well, they're really super Protestant, and it's weird. They're like more teetotaling and uptight than the South, the Catholics in the South. They're a little more drinking, and so it's pretty exotic,
We learned a
actually.
lot about the culture.
We learned a lot.
Hey, Mary,
Yeah,
you want to stop the live stream when you have a
Oh, yeah.
sec?
before I say something about the Irish.
Can you do it from my computer?
What?
Okay.
You said
Bev, how are you feeling? Feeling any better?